3, 2, 1. Click. This is Date With Us, a dating sim podcast where two lover girls, me, Kanisha,
and me, Claire,
date, mate, and rate cyber sweeties because every gamer needs a little love in their saves.
We're inviting you to join us for our digital debriefs about our pixelized paramours. Whether they're in visual novels, roguelites, or funky indie darlings, we'll dish on who we're romancing and if our choices really mattered.
It doesn't matter if you're here to get love, lust, or just the bus.
You'll get to know at least one worthwhile person. Yourself.
So, light some candles,
partake in a vice of your choosing,
and we'll give you the lowdown on the games to download.
What are we doing today? We're playing Boyfriend Dungeon. We played Boyfriend Dungeon.
We did.
What is, I'm curious, I want to know what Time to Beat says about how long it takes to play Boyfriend Dungeon.
I think 6 to 8 hours, but I don't know. I don't know.
I'm curious, how long did you play Boyfriend Dungeon?
I have no idea. I'm really bad at tracking how long. I know I kind of suck, so I think I put in about like 10 hours. Yeah, and to beat the game. So, but
I can't. Okay, I'm so excited to get into this.
Yeah, I tried to date everybody.
Me too. Okay, that's why I was like, this game. Allow me to discuss what Boyfriend Dungeon is before we dive fully in. But before any of that, well, I'm going to tell you what Boyfriend Dungeon is. Then we're going to do the icebreaker question so that it's obvious as to why we're doing the particular icebreaker question that we're doing. Boyfriend Dungeon. Boyfriend Dungeon was released August 11th, 2021 by Kit Fox Games and is an indie dating sim. Their press release description was, plunder the dunj as you fend off dangerous monsters and take your weapons on romantic dates. Woo your weapons in this flirty, playful, and welcoming world filled with mastery and the procedurally generated dungeon. Serving up a dose of summertime fling nostalgia, take your dates out as you uncover their stories and level them up. Embark on a blossoming relationship with your weapon cuties as you capture their hearts in friendship and in love. In this lighthearted, fantastical shack and slash filled with adventure, improve your skills and fend off the monsters together, because the couple that slays together stays together. Available on Steam for Windows and Mac, Switch, and itch.io. The price, $19.99, though you can typically find this on sale now that it's been out for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. However, the thing that I did not know about until I went looking for this information, there is also a bundle on Steam, and the bundle includes the game, the soundtrack, an art book, and a tabletop role-playing game set in the world of Boyfriend Dungeon.
Okay, wait, so we're playing that?
Yeah, right? Like, we need to play that. Yeah, I'm like, what? So I found that out this morning, and I could not wait to tell you because I was like, oh my God, I added it to my wish list because I gotta pick it up. But it's so funny. It says you have to have the game on Steam to play but I think it might just be like a kind of a thing that they say because it's a DLC. Yeah. And I'm like, because it's just a PDF. Like, the game is a PDF.
Yeah.
And it says all you need is a PDF reader. But of course, I have Boyfriend Dungeon on Switch. Mm-hmm. So I don't have it on Steam. So I hope it will let me buy it anyway. Otherwise, I'll just go buy it from somewhere else. But yeah, there is a tabletop role-playing game, which for those who may have found us just through our love of dating sims, Kanisha and I also share a love of tabletop role-playing games and are also separately co-players on an actual play podcast that will hopefully also be releasing soon. But we love us we're tabletop gamers. We're gamers all around.
Claire introduced me to the world, and now I'm here to stay. So
hell
fun.
Yeah. Icebreaker, before we talk more about Boyfriend Dungeon, literally, I'm like, I have to calm down so that we can have a real episode about Boyfriend Dungeon instead of me just...
We're too excited!
Okay, so my icebreaker question is, if you were going to be a weapon, what weapon would you be? I have not thought of the answer for myself yet either. So
This is hard because let's spoil it. Because there's already a glaive, there's already a scythe now.
I think you can be any of these things, especially since we haven't told anyone. Nobody's played Boyfriend Dungeon. Everyone's
Ever.
here for the first time. They're not going to know until we tell them later.
Okay.
So you can be whatever weapon you want to be.
Me as a person, as a weapon. This is actually so hard. Claire, did you come up with an answer? I'll let you go first because I decide to think.
I'm either a shield or if they can be large scale weaponry, I do think that would be kind of fun to just be like, no, I'm actually a cannon. I just stand very still.
I love that. I mean, shield felt a lot, but cannon would be crazy.
Yeah.
I immediately went to glaive, and I think that world is right. Just like sharp, gotta learn how to wield, and like just big presence.
Yeah, hell yeah. Also cool. Glaives are cool.
So cool. I'm wondering too, like, it's not a bow and arrow because that's a little too like elegant. It's not enough pizzazz, but like those like things where you shoot it.
Like a crossbow?
Yeah, a crossbow.
Hell yeah.
I feel
or
also
like
crossbow-y.
yeah, like if we're both just actually like on the wall of a castle, giant crossbow next to cannon, we've been friends 5 ever.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the energy. What would our kingdom be? Let's get into that later. A different game. Different time.
Yeah, we'll have to find oh, maybe if we do Romancylvania, that's a good because most of that game takes place in a castle, so we can talk about our castle then.
Dream castle setup.
So we've done the theme description. You know what this game is. This game is a dating sim meets dungeon crawler, where you spend part of the time in sort of a more traditional, like almost visual novel type setup, where you're making decisions, you're choosing dialogue options. At the same time, you're alternating by going to dungeons in the town, lovingly referred to as dunges, going to dunj, which apparently, like, lore-wise, is just, like, the new hip thing in this town.
Yes. It's like going rock climbing, but you also get paid to do it. That's what it is.
You find random coins and arts and crafts supplies when you go to the dunge. And through kind of an unexplained reason that I wonder if they talk about this in the tabletop game, honestly, if they do more lore at all.
Yeah.
But because in the world, we know that wielders and weapon people exist. Wielders being your traditional humans that are wielding the weapons, and weapon people being the people who can turn into weapons. But it seems that these dungeons are cropping up exclusively in Verona Beach.
Yeah.
Which I am like, what? And they're based on your own personal fears. So like the dungeon is the monsters in the dungeons are attached to some sort of fear that we have.
But I guess like the monsters look different to every person who goes in, like, because I know some of them will talk about like, oh, this monster is like doing. It's very strange. I don't know if it's based just on the wielder's fears or while they're in the dunge, and the weapon that you're in the dunge with can also see your fears. I don't know.
That seems like what it was, just based on like the fact that when you're wielding someone, they'll have little like side dialogue pieces about like, ooh, we got through that or whatever, that would imply that they like are going through the same thing you are. Starting at the beginning of the game, I'm getting ahead of myself. We talk about mechanics first. We've got your visual novel mechanics of like, you see what's going on, you talk to people. Additionally, there is this sort of like dungeon crawl, like adventuring moment where like you show up, you make a little character, you can there's some customization options, there are pronoun options, there are clothing options, and you can kind of make your little guy look however you want, and then you meet your cousin whose apartment you're staying in because he's moved in with his fiance. And wild to me that this game really said, like, "We know that you're all here to be thirsty for dating," so they let you, like, half hit on your cousin, and your cousin is like, "What? No? What?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Huh?"
And a lot of, the, like when you're not in the dungeon or, like, on dates, a lot of the dialogue conversation most of the dialogue that happens with your cousins, like, on your phone. Like, you get lots of texts in game. There's also a mom character that you can opt not to have if
Which
you
I love.
prefer not to have that. Yeah, it's very nice that they
Like,
give
the
that
first
option.
thing the first 2 things that happen in the game are you get a content warning that is like, "Hey, this game has," I don't remember exactly the wording, but it's basically like, "This game does involve, like, stalking and a toxic relationship,"
Mhm.
and I honestly, I appreciate that they're like, "And if this isn't your vibe, like, don't play this game," because
Mhm.
I know if I remember correctly, when this game first came out, there was a lot of conversation around if the stalking part of the game was, like, okay, which was so
Mm.
like, I felt like it was a little silly, and I'm glad that they added the content warning because it was like, what are
Mhm.
they gonna do? If they get rid of that element, they're getting rid of basically the plot
Yeah.
of the game. So I was glad that they found kind of a middle ground of being like, here's the content warning. This one you can't really turn on or turn off. It changes too much of the story of the game. But
Yeah.
then immediately it's followed up with the like Boyfriend Dungeon will sometimes have like you may receive supportive text messages from a character called Mom. Would you like to receive these? Yes or no? And so it's nice that I really loved that because personally, I have a terrible relationship with my dad, and so if it was, like, the kinda thing where there's a dad that's sending you text messages, I might just turn that off because
Mhm.
it really wasn't, like I left them on, and it really wasn't, like, any it was just great. It really was just, like, a
Yeah.
nice little, like, you can have a relationship with your mom and kind of flavor that as, like, you can be really engaged with her, or you can just be, like, sending thumbs ups, which I thought was cute. The whole phone your phone does become, like, a landmark for you in this game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big part, but it's a fun part. I think it helps, like, just keep the story going. So, yeah, we have, like, the character creation, we have, like, our phone, and then the dungeon, like, it's like basic roguelite, like, procedurally
Yes.
generated, you run through, there's no permadeath, and you get to keep your loot or whatever you find, like
Yes.
so that is pretty fun because, like Claire said, you find little crafts items, for your crafting table, which is in your apartment, and that's how you can craft gifts for
And
your and
zines.
zines! Oh, right! We have a big time ziner here. Yeah, so zines are your power-ups that you can, like, equip, and then crafts are things that you can, like, craft yourself outfits, and sometimes they have, like, boons or whatever, for your runs. And then also you can craft gifts to build your relationships with your cuties, your weapons. So it's very, very fun in that regard. And I think that's almost it in terms of gameplay.
I honestly, I found the dungeon hard at first. Like
Yeah.
I I was like, this is no joke. And they have accessibility features where you're able to turn on and off. I think it's something like goddess's protection or something where you only take half damage
Oh,
and
nice.
they're like I did have to turn that on for a while at first because I was like, it has been a while since I've like played a video game. And I
Mm.
was like, I keep dying to the point where this is not fun, and I
Oh,
want
no.
to have a nice time with my cuties. So shout out to all my other not pro gamers out there.
Period.
So that was great to be able to like turn on and turn off kind of at will instead of
Mhm.
like setting it at the beginning of the game and being like you're stuck with this kind of one way or the other. And then each weapon or each person as you build that relationship you earn different like combos and
Oh,
abilities.
yes.
So I'm so excited to dig into, like, who we played with and why because there are so many different like, depending on your play style and then I found myself wrestling with, like, who are the weapons that I enjoy fighting with
Yes.
versus
Yes.
who are the people that I want to date because you develop your relationship not only on the surface, but in the dunge, you have
Mhm.
opportunities to take, like, basically short rests and do, like, little dates in,
Yes.
like, you know, you're the first one is a mall, the second one is a nightclub, the third one is a college campus. So your, like, break locations vary from, like, you know, the back room at a nightclub to, like, the computer lab at the school or, like, an ice rink in the mall, and so you get, like, all of these different little, like, date
Mhm.
things that you can do with people. So you want to be playing with the characters that you're trying to romance, especially if you're maybe a more casual player, not like Kanisha and I trying to date all 9 people at once.
Yeah.
But if you're just trying to date 1 or 2 people, those are probably gonna be the people who you're trying to play with in the dunge so that you can keep advancing those relationships.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it was just so it got to a point where I was like, "Ooh, the easiest way to like quickly build up this relationship is to just go through a few levels in the dunge." But I cannot clear level with this one person, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just it's interesting because I think it's like a very good metaphor, like allegory or whatever for like dating, getting to know people in real life. Like sometimes like you really like a person and but what you need to get through in your life in the moment, like they're not the best person to get through that with.
Oh my god, you're so smart.
I was just like, that's real. I don't
That
know.
is real. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's okay, so I feel like now is a good time to sort of lightly move from the mechanics, which are now gonna be able to permeate the conversation,
Mhm.
into characters, who we romance and what are the other characters in the game. So we
Ah.
as we said, you meet your cousin first off. You're like, "Okay, great." Your
Mhm.
cousin is like, "I'm gonna set you up on a date." Your cousin sets you up with this guy, Eric,
What?
who is a human wielder, well, not wielder, is a human bigoted
Mhm.
blacksmith who is
Period.
like, "We should not be using weapon people. Weapon people are less than, and we should instead be using fine
Pure
blacksmiths,
steel.
yeah, pure weaponry," which is like, and Eric is blonde-haired, blue-eyed, bad vibes.
Blech. No shade to nice blonde-haired, blue-eyed people out there. You know what?
He
Cut
just
that.
reads as like he's just like a little too like Nazi coded.
I mean, he is. Yeah, he is.
I'll say it.
Unfortunately.
I'll say it. But and it's like he's has this like real smarmy quality where like I could see a world where you might be like if you found him attractive, you might lean in at the very initial meeting, but
Mhm.
this game does such a good job of like of even if you like start to be nice to him, you realize pretty quickly that he has some pretty toxic behaviors and opinions.
Yeah.
And as you see, because he comes back through the game several other times after your first sort of mid to bad, depending on how you feel about him, date. But no matter what, your first meeting with this man is not going to go well because he
Mhm.
sucks. Which honestly, I kind of love that it's like you get here and no, the first person that you go on a date with is not going to be your favorite person in town
Yes.
because that is not how your summer away from home is really gonna work. I also like there are moments throughout the game where you get to define your own character, so, against others, so they can ask you questions, and as you answer them, that sort of defines your character, like,
Mhm.
we'll launch into these, like, 9 dateable people. So, one of them is Sawyer, who is a student, and there is a
Yes.
moment when you're interacting with Sawyer, and they are like, "Did you graduate from college?" And you get to decide, like, "Wait, how old am I and what
Yeah.
have I done in my life?" And they give you the option of, like, "I didn't that wasn't for me," or "I did graduate," or "I'm still in school," or, like,
Mhm.
you know, a number of options like that. And so there were a lot of things like that in the game that I was like, "I like that they leave some room because you get to name yourself. So as you
Mhm.
name yourself, you if I'm not assigned a character, like it isn't a role playing game, so I'm like, okay, who am I? I like that they give
Mhm.
me the leeway to kind of figure that out as we go.
Yeah. I do think too, because Claire and I, we first played this a lot closer to when it actually released. I feel like a
Mhm.
few years ago. And so I think that was, especially with like the DLC that's been added, like, I feel like that is new. Like, I feel like for
Mm.
some of the original characters, like, it doesn't really matter who you are, but like, there are some characters where I think there is more attention paid to, like, how I interact with them is gonna be based on where I am in my life as a player. And so I thought that was really nice too. I was like, "Okay." And, like, for Sawyer specifically for me, like, I finished college just because I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just be me." And I think, like,
Yeah.
had I chosen, like, "No, I'm starting next semester," like, the path of the relationship, it wouldn't have made as much sense for me to make some of the choices that I got with Sawyer later, and I don't think I would have gotten them if I'd, played younger. So it's just little things like
Yeah.
that where it's really fun.
All right. I feel like I've been talking too much, so do you want to tell us about the characters a little bit?
I could. Okay, I'm not gonna do them in order because I'm not as
Yeah,
attentive as
no.
Claire. I'm just like, "Here are all these people."
I think there are 9 dateable characters, and
Okay.
then I think the other characters that are not dateable that I can think of off the top of my head are our cousin,
Cousin.
his fiance,
Mhm. Mandy.
Mandy.
Well,
God, I wish you could date Mandy. We'll get to Mandy.
okay.
And, like, some other people's, like, side characters in their life, like, there's a
Yeah.
security guard, there's, like, many of the suitors have NPCs around them, but as far as the NPCs around you, I think those are the highlights are really your cousin and his fiance.
And Olivia, the person who works everywhere.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
like her more than I do. She
She's
ends up
so
being
she's a lot.
much.
Okay. So let's start.
Olivia, also another failed date that your cousin sets you up.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I can go in order and then I'm going to deviate widely. So first you meet, and I immediately forgot his name. The S stock.
Isaac?
His name's Isaac. Isaac. You meet Isaac, the S stock, or however you say it. His style is like fencing. It's pretty much a very formalist approach. He works as a lawyer,
He's
businessy.
he's like a oh my god, he's like a venture capitalist
I
basically, but
didn't want to say that.
he's a venture capitalist with a heart of gold, Kanisha.
He is sweetie.
He effectively seems to be a venture capitalist who runs his family's like foundation, and it's
Yeah.
like a goal of his to do charitable giving, and he has a terrible dad who's like, "We don't give."
Yeah. His dad's the worst. He has a horrible relationship with his dad, but he's so sweet. He just loves fencing and is just like really into faith and like da da da. You can tell he's my favorite character, but he is really great. And then you meet Sunder, sexy nightclub owner who never wears a shirt, has super long hair. Spoilers, is a vampire, maybe?
I
And
like I think
he's for sure.
canonically he's for
Yes.
sure a vampire, like,
Yes.
which was so unexpected.
It's so fun because you're like, okay, we're in a world where like people can turn into weapons, but maybe that's as far as the fantastic nature of this
Fantasy?
goes. Fantasy. But then, like, no, you straight up catch him like eating or sucking blood, and then you're like, anyway.
But it makes sense because the kind of weapon he
Yeah.
is.
If you cut people with Sunder, like, they start bleeding in the dungeon, and then he's very cool. I forgot
He's
what
a
it's
vampiric blade, like, whatever his blade like, they literally call him a vampiric something, and then later you find out he's a vampire, and I was like, "Well, damn, they told me that, and I didn't even
Yeah.
consider it a possibility."
Yeah, yeah. But he's kind of like he gives Playboy vibes too. Like,
He owns the nightclub that the dungeon
yeah.
is in.
And all the characters, like, warn you, like, all the time. They're like, "Don't be with Sunder."
Sunder doesn't care about you, he only
Literally.
wants to have sex with you.
But, like, that's fine, he's hot. Anyway.
Yeah, as long as hey, look,
If that's
I
you.
absolutely had sex with Sunder with Hunter, who's Hunter. I absolutely had sex with Sunder, and I will say I was devastated at the end of that relationship,
Oh my gosh.
but I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
But we're spoiler central here on the Date With Us podcast, but we will try not to spoil until we like get to maybe we'll do a spoiler section for the ends of people's relationships.
Yeah.
But will be spoilers about these characters as we go. But we will try not to spoil the endings so that if you decide who you're in love with, we won't like spoil the ends of their stories for you as we go.
We'll set the scene for you.
We'll just set the scene. All right, so we've got Sunder, we've got Isaac.
let's go Rowan next. I love Rowan.
Ooh,
They're like this gray-haired goth, non-binary icon. They have a familiar named Crowley, who is
obsessed.
a beautiful white crow that like is always on their shoulder. And what do they say? Are they always like nevermore, nevermore, or like
No, they always say it's not wait, I wrote this down because I was like, "I
yeah,
need to remember what Crowley says because it's not nevermore, it's it's nothing more,"
nothing more. Oh my gosh, that's worse. I love
which
that.
obviously is a play on the Edgar Allan Poe Nevermore quote, "The
Yes.
Raven," but,
We love Curly. Curly is like actually so beautiful. But yeah, Rowan is just very like did not have a phone at first. Like will write you letters. You have to like decode.
there's
th-
this yeah, like a
Yeah.
cipher.
Yeah, they send you a cipher to get in contact with them, like their phone number. Their story is one of grief. They had a relative pass away, and you spend the summer as you advance through their their story path, like kind of building the relationship kind of based around that. They're just super sweet, and they turn into a very, very sick scythe. And it's so fun. That's like
Rowan Rowan's I really loved Rowan both for their storyline and for their weapon because they are cool as fuck. And it's
they're
both
amazing.
it's it's Rowan and Crowley combine to turn into the scythe.
Mhm.
Which is like and then the scythe has like a sick ass bird skull on it, which is cool.
And, like, when you go use it in the dungeon, it makes, like, little caw sounds, like, it's
Yeah,
cruelly cawing. Um,
yeah.
it's so
And
yes.
there's gravity wells.
Yes, the gravity
They like
wells
pull people in.
help so much, like, kind of OP, but whatever.
Well, and you meet Rowan late in terms of the orders of suitors that you're meeting.
Yes.
So I feel like the game really tries to order with like almost like simpler weapons to learn
Yes.
at first and then they add like another layer of more complicated weapons and then in the big update that Kanisha referred to earlier, they added two characters that were really more side characters. They updated them into being dateable characters. So I felt like both of those weapons were perhaps the hardest
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, I can
kind of
see that.
backwards from there.
Okay, so that's Rowan. There is also 7.
7?
Oh, I love
7?
7.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Okay.
How
So
did I know? How did I know you were gonna love
because
7? I love 7 too. 7 is so
7's the cutest.
cute.
Okay. 7. So, might I add, I don't think we touched on this. Okay, so the way that you're meeting most of the weapons, except Rowan, but most of the weapons, you're meeting them like as you dunge. Like you start with Isaac, and Isaac is like invites you to wield him as so that you can learn. But then you meet Sunder, and his blade has been chipped. He is down in the dunge, and he's in his weapon form, and he's like, "How did I get here?" He's kind of stunned, and his blade has been chipped, and he's like, "Oh gosh, what's happened to me?" And that's how you basically meet everyone as you keep advancing through the dungeon with like the weapons as you meet them. Most of them are a little defensive or like maybe like what happened, and they've all been a little chipped. So keep that in mind as you keep going. So then there's 7. 7 is this adorable K-pop like dancer. His band is called Blade Generation, and Olivia is such a huge fan. Stalks him a little bit. But that's not but like, yeah. But he's
But
so
Olivia
Olivia's not like Eric. It's just like a stan, which is bad,
But
but
Olivia stands someone else in the band.
oh
Like,
right.
Olivia is stalking 7 to try to get
Get
to
to
a different
Sungwoo.
person in the band, which is, like, so insulting.
It's so mean. Like she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna invade your privacy, and also I don't give a fuck about you." It's
Yeah.
so
I
mean.
wrote this letter to your bandmate. Can you give it to him even though I know you guys seem to have beef in the papers right now?
Literally. Yes, 7 is he's like not the most popular member, but he's a popular member because he's so fine. And he's like having a hard time because his bandmate Sunwoo or Sungwoo. I feel like it's Sungwoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, 7 apparently is, like, the only person in his band with an English name, but then his bandmate is gonna rebrand to be Lucky, and it's really
And
cute.
go solo and be lucky.
Yes, but, like, Lucky 7 would be really cute. And so 7 is dealing with, like,
Ooh.
he has a really lovely story of, like, he deals with a bit of insecurity. He says he's clinically depressed, and you kind of get to know him as he opens up and, starts to, like, be more emotive and confident in himself. And what is he, like, what do they call it? Like a laser sword?
He's like a laser saber.
Laser Saber, he is so cool. So, Seven's, like his styling is that, like, he's like, his hair is blue, part of it is blue, and so his sword, like, he's this laser saber, so when you go and swing him in the dunge, he has, like, lightning that shoots and forks to, like, different enemies around you, and you can select, like, the power up to, kinda decide, like, does he go for, like, weaker enemies or does he fork more? But like that is, one really cool ability of his weapon. And it's also pretty fast to like slice through. Some of the
Yeah.
bladed weapons that can be a little slower or a little bit more timing based, but he's like pretty easy to go hack and slash. So
Yeah.
that's 7.
He is uh, obviously, given the way that I lit up when we mentioned
Yeah.
7, he's so fun to wield, and he, as you said, is so fine. He is so beautiful. The collarbones in the drawing, I'm like, those are illegal. Like
Yeah.
he's got the great blue coloring, and then his lightning is blue, and you're like, this is, and like his dates are like so
They're
cute, and
so
it's just,
cute.
and yeah,
He's the
he's very fun,
We love
and
7.
also, I like a lot that he is sort of, I like that all of these characters have their own relationship to relationships.
Yeah.
Like Isaac in the game, like most characters are pretty flexible as far as like polyamory and non-monogamy go, and they like will talk openly about that and be sort of like supportive. But at the same time, as you're like in Isaac's relationship, he makes it pretty clear. He's like, "Hey, like if we're gonna take it to the next level, I kind of want to know that like it's us, you know?"
Mhm.
And they still, the game mechanically, minor spoilers, will let you date everyone to the top level if you want to,
Mm.
but those relationships do kind of shift a little bit depending on if you've chosen like a romance path or a friendship path, because you can also
Yeah.
platonically relate to people all the way through their levels. And then there is one character that we refer to as a dateable character, though not actually a dateable character, a wieldable
Yeah.
character, and that is Pocket.
We love Pocket. Pocket is a beautiful orange cat, who has very firm boundaries, that we love to respect. And Pocket turns into like these brass knuckle blades, and you're
They're
like
claw brass knuckles.
yeah, they're
It's so
basically
sick.
you're like Wolverine. Oh, yeah, you're literally like Wolverine when you're in the dungeon.
Yeah.
It's so cool. You go so fast, and, if you do, like, a certain combo, you see, like, this, like, claw strike, and it's like, "Wow!" And then it's like, everyone gets hit by claws. It's very
And you can
fun.
pounce. Love a pounce.
We do love pounce. And how you interact with Pocket is so funny because apparently the first time you meet Pocket, like he goes home to his owner. He does have an owner, with a piece of paper with your number on it, and the owner texts you and is like, "Hey, my cat came home with this number, so you found him. Yay! I will let him out and just let you know where he's headed." And that's how you find and meet up with Pocket to go on quote unquote dates.
The way that I was scarred by this,
Oh no.
in my neighborhood about a year ago, I found the most beautiful orange cat on the street. His name is Kirby. He had a collar that said Kirby with a phone number on it. And so I like called the phone number, and the guy who owned this cat was the most relaxed person in the world. I was like, "Oh yeah, he
Wow.
likes to wander around on the street. Like what, he's good. He's fine." Like it reminded me so much of
That's
Pocket's
so
owner of like,
cute.
"Yeah, I don't know, I'll just let him out. Like he's having a good time." Like I was like, "What?"
I kinda love that. I can never imagine you being like that without.
Oh my god, no. I mean, especially with
He
the
has to
bird
walk
flu
around.
situation,
Yeah.
but also just in general. Al, my cat, the Humane Society found him in a dumpster, spayed
No.
him, released him back to, like, the dumpster where the feral cats were that he was with, and then the next time they went to collect feral cats from that area, he walked up to them and got in the carrier and was like, "No, I will be going to live inside now."
Period.
And that is why I have a cat that has, like, the clipped off ear inside of my house because he was like, "No, no, I'm a house cat."
Honestly,
So
that's so
Pocket is,
real.
like, so important to me. I'm just like, "Pocket, the little dumpster cat." And
Pocket's
I
so
do love
iconic.
the boundaries with Pocket. I do love that Pocket is like, "I will kill you if you approach me and we do not have a good enough relationship," like,
Mhm.
and there's a little rival stray cat in Pocket's life.
Yes. Why is that cat that cat sends me every time? Cause why has it been through so much?
The cat that looks like it's been washed in the dryer, like
Like, but, yeah, we love Pocket. We love Pocket down. Speaking of boundaries,
Oh, yeah. Yes.
there's Valeria.
Oh,
We love her. We love her. She's also one of the very fast dual-wield weapons. She's like, what are they, daggers? Quick
yeah.
swords? Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
daggers.
she's like little daggers.
Valeria is an amazing artist who is also like when you first meet her, she's one of the first weapons who is like very, very firm. Like, I do not know you. I do not know how I got here. Back up.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that because, yeah, it's like a terrifying situation. And like you're having so much fun as a player, and it really orients you to like, hey, this is like kind of traumatic for a lot of
These
the
are real
characters.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Um,
it's we meet Isaac, then we meet Sunder. And so
Sunder. Mhm.
Isaac, Jesse voluntold Isaac to teach you how to do the dungeons. So he was down.
Mm.
Sunder is Sunder. So Sunder, it makes sense personality wise that he was like a little flirty, even though he was disoriented.
Mhm.
And then you meet Valeria third. So it's pretty early in the game that they're like, hey, we know this is a fun dating sim, but also this is a dating sim that's going to be mindful when it comes to consent and autonomy over bodies.
Mhm.
And like I thought that was great because like we get that both with a dateable character with Valeria and like you said, like with Pocket of like
Yeah.
consent and they like say it at different times too of like consent is important and like asking each other if that's what you want to do and like
Mhm.
especially with wielding and being where your life is in danger like people gotta know what they want and like Valeria doesn't even change into a person in front of you the first time you meet her
Right.
because she's like no I'm gonna stay the weapons that I am thank you like
Mhm.
which also mechanically I do wonder a lot about how it feels to be two weapons.
Yeah. Cause some of them talk about like, oh, like you get the sense that you change at will and it feels very natural, but to split is like very different. Like,
Right.
what if you get dropped? What if someone loses? Like, like how do? Yeah, it would be nice. It'd be interesting, like to have the creators like, or have more content be released with more lore. Like,
Yeah, I have lore questions, but, like, in a way where I'm like, "I'm in, and I will suspend my disbelief at any
yeah.
as needed,
What? Tell me
certainly."
what you need to tell me. Like, it's
Yeah,
fine.
like, let me know what you made up as your headcanons, because I wanna know what they
Mhm.
are.
But we do love Valeria. She's like a very cool, skilled artist, and she also has this friend, former lover, person,
Jake.
Jake, the easiest J name.
Just regular man. He's so busted too.
He is busted.
He's,
He's a
like,
little crusty.
so fucked, and she dated Jake and his sister Jessica at the same
Hmm.
time.
Yeah. We won't spoil too much about how it all fell apart, but it did fall apart.
Yeah, you
um,
won't be surprised to hear that her dating a brother-sister combo didn't end well.
that's so evil, by the way. Why did she do that? Sorry, no judgment. Actually, we're fine with all
Valeria
relationships
is
here.
is a chaotic artist, and every I've played this game all the way through twice, and both times I thought I was gonna, like, go whole hog on certain people,
Hmm.
and then every time I find myself like, "But also Valeria."
Yeah,
And
well,
maybe that's because her daggers are so fun, but also maybe it's just because I like her. Like,
she has a great vibe.
if I wanted to be anyone in this game, I want to be Valeria.
Yeah.
Like, also doing a Valeria cosplay would be so fun.
It would look really good. You would do, like, a very good that's actually your vibe.
I know, right? It would be so fun.
Yeah.
I'm, like, really thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. Very fun to play, very fun to wield. Yeah, we should do, like, a rank it would be, like, nice to have a chart of, like, fun to date, fun to wield, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, we still have a lot of characters left.
You continue talking about the characters. I will draw us a ranking so that we can rank them by the end, state our list.
Okay, beautiful. Let's see. There's Jonah,
Jonah,
Sawyer, Leah, and who's the last one that I'm forgetting? There's like a base game character that I'm forgetting.
Isaac, Sunder, Valeria, Seven, Sawyer, Pocket, Rowan, Jonah, Leah.
Oh, I forgot that I already talked about Seven. Okay. I just love him so much. Okay, so now we have DLC characters. There's Jonah, Sawyer, and Leah, all of which we talked about a little bit. We can start with Sawyer because we already talked about Sawyer. Sawyer's a beautiful, very cute, non-binary student.
Yeah, they do create different types of non-binary characters, which is also interesting because it's like usually in a game like a dating sim,
Yeah.
they're like, here's your one non-binary character, say thank you, and it's like, huh?
Right. Like, okay. And there's usually like some stereotypes involved too. Like, it just feels very stereotypical. So it felt really good to have like, just as there are different flavors of anyone, there can be multiple non-binary characters in a game. Like, it's totally fine. And we love that. Anyways, Sawyer's not very good at taking care of themselves. um,
No.
and it's adorable, but yeah. They turn into a glaive, which is very fun to use in a dungeon. I actually didn't I haven't gotten super far. I didn't finish I will say like I got to the point where I could beat the game, but I didn't like play all the way through level 6, which is the highest like relationship you can have with one of the weapons. I think I stopped with Sawyer around level 3, so I don't know all of their boons, but the glaive is very fun. I found like the glaive to be one of the weapons I kept returning to in the dungeon.
Really?
Yeah, I liked the glaive.
I thought the glaive was one of the most challenging.
Ooh.
I think because Sawyer, you can throw the glaive, which is
Yeah.
so cool, but for me, the way that I play these games, I was like, oh no, this requires so much more like careful,
Yeah, the coordination is hard.
yeah, like careful space. Like my mom taught world geography for many years, and my
Mhm.
form of teenage rebellion was to not learn maps, which is perhaps the most foolish
Please.
thing. And so my spatial reasoning skills are not as strong as they should be. And so like playing with a weapon that I need to like try to line up shots for
Yeah.
was so much harder than it should have been, I feel like. And I was like, what is happening? Like I definitely tended towards the faster ones
Mhm.
rather than like the slower and heavier, which tends to be in a roguelike. I tend to go for the like quick weapon, push lots of buttons rather than like heavy weapon, do lots of damage, but more deliberately. I tend to
Yeah.
just kind of freak out.
Okay, let's get to that because before this, I would have described myself similarly. I would have been like, oh, like, I really like just going in there and being like, whoa. But, maybe there's something to say for that. Okay, but that's Sawyer. And then two more. Let's do Leah. Leah, I also did not get very far with, but I like Leah. She is also a student at the Verona Beach
No,
College
is she? Leah?
because she's like in the gym.
Yeah,
She's
but
an ice skater.
Leah is an ice skating coach.
I thought she teaches ice skating, but I thought she was also.
She might also be a fashion student. Is that like cuz her story, the gist of her story is like she works at the gym
Mhm.
and she's an ice
She's an
skating
ice skating
coach because
coach.
she was injured
Mhm.
skating
She's did
and
partner
then
skating. She's did
yeah,
pairs.
and then I don't know, I don't remember if she's a student of fashion or if she just wants to be a fashion designer. She might also be a student.
She might not. I just kind of assumed. So
She
she might
may or
not.
may not be a student, but she is debating between ice skating and fashion design.
Yeah.
And that's like the crux of her story is like, is she going to give up coaching and go whole hog into fashion design? Is she going to give up fashion design? Is she going to do something in between and sort of navigating the grief that comes from disappointing others
Yeah.
through no fault of her own. Like she was so injured, and you meet her former skating partner, who is nothing but supportive. Like he really is
Yeah.
like a good guy and doesn't seem like mad at her about this or anything. Like, but I guess they had like a really good chance at going to the Olympics, and obviously she was injured. And then she's clearly going through like blaming herself for this. And so that's kind of when you meet her, as her trying to figure out
Mhm.
what she wants to do there.
Yeah. It's very frustrating to, like, get so close to something, like, you worked really hard for, you really want, and then it's just you can't, it's hard not to feel like you failed. So, I really appreciate it, and what I liked about playing through her too is just that she's, like, like, a lot of the other characters, like, have some heavy stuff they're going through, and I mean, not that that's not heavy, but she has, like, a very bubbly personality. She's
Yeah.
very fun to, like, date, very fun to flirt with, like, she's like a kind of a breath of fresh air, I think, to a lot of to the field of, like, dateable characters. I had this, like, fun little interaction because as you're, like, running around through, like, through Verona Beach, like, sometimes the characters, like, pop up, like, in little pairs, and you can go interact with them and, like, have little cutscenes, and so her and Valeria have, like, a really cute cutscene where they're, like, talking about, like, colors and, like, your palette and stuff like that, and
Oh
I
my god.
really liked that. It just felt like I got to know Leah really well in that
They
moment.
added those
The little cut
the
yeah,
little cute
conversations.
asides in that update, and they are so fun.
They add
Like,
a
every
lot.
single one of them was yeah, they add so much.
Yeah, I really liked it. So, yeah, that's it, and you're right, she's a nice hammer. So, you go to dungeon,
Yeah, crazy.
it's she is, like, a little harder for me to get the hang of, but she does so much damage. She's so crazy because you, like, go and you swing and it's just like, boom, 2 swings,
Yeah,
they're over. But it's just a little bit slower because she's such a big weapon. Yeah, I recommend. She's fun.
and then last but not least, there's Jonah.
We love Jonah. So Jonah was a new character.
Jonah is so good.
I love Jonah.
He's so sweet.
He's the first new character I got to meet. I don't know if he necessarily is. Okay, I'm getting nods from Claire. So, yeah, Jonah
I think so.
is like a beautiful, I don't think he's like formally a water axe. I think he is.
He's
But
like a fireman axe.
yeah,
I don't remember what they call him. Yeah, he's like a
he's an
utility axe.
yeah, but he has like water properties like in his boons and he loves
Oh, yeah, yeah,
water.
yeah. He's a
Like
surfer.
he's a surfer and he's like between jobs and he's just like he's Jesse's friend. Jesse introduces you to him.
Another setup with Jesse. He's
But this
Jesse's
one's good. Ex-boyfriend. Actually, they dated for like 3 weeks before Jesse meets his fiance. And he's like, "Sorry, it's not a big deal," but he's just so like awkward about it and it's so cute. Jonah's so awkward. He's so awkward. He's so shy. He's so nervous. And he's just having a hard time like wrestling with what it means to like be a weapon, even though he's such a peaceful, like go with the flow guy. And a big theme of the relationship is like him finding acceptance and like with that, with his situation where he is just in his life and accepting like not having it all figured out. And it's just a really just calming like relationship to like play all the way through. I did play Jonah like all the way through and finish that relationship. He's also like just as a weapon, very fun to wield in the dungeon. He has like one combo where there's like a splash, there's like bubbles, and you like I don't know, you can like you can like overwhelm like a few enemies at a time. The strikes are really really strong. He's not the fastest, but he's faster than like some of the other big weapons.
He's probably the fastest of the big of,
Yeah.
like, the heavy
Y
wielders.
yeah, he's just super sweet, and it's, like, totally fine. I think to, like, match him, like, going with the flow a lot, he's totally fine, like, either way, everyone is, but he in particular, I think, like, the way they set him up, he's like, "Yeah, I don't really care what else you have going on with anyone else, like, it's fine, like, what we have is what we have, and, like, do," and I appreciated that too.
Jonah is so he's such a teddy bear. Like, he's, like, such a broad guy, and it's clear that he's, like the trope of, like, big man is afraid to take up space
Yeah.
is, like is strong with this one, but, like, also in a way that feels fresh, and maybe that's
Mm.
because he's a weapon person, but, like, we see him, like, try to work at a restaurant as, like, as and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna work in a restaurant," and then you find out he's working in a restaurant as a blade, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Jonah,
Jonah,
what?"
this isn't what you
Like
want.
it's just he's such a sweetie, and, like, there are a couple of different moments in the game, and now that we've learned all of our characters, I'm curious. There are a few benchmark moments throughout Boyfriend Dungeon that hint at the progression of time. Because as we've said, it's happening over the summer.
Mm.
So you are like, okay, like I have a limited amount of time. My favorite thing about it is they do the passage of time with these benchmarks that you as a player get to choose to engage with to keep moving
Mhm.
things forward. So like if you just want to dunge and get everybody up to a certain level before you move forward to the next benchmark, you absolutely can. Cuz you can bet your booty that I was getting everybody up to like as high as I could before it was like 4th of July time,
Yeah.
cuz we have like a 4th of July date. We have Jesse's wedding, and then we have, like, the big sort of plot ending
Mhm.
situation where you choose sort of who you're going to wield for this, like, boss fight at the end. So you get to choose 2 dates and a boss fight. So and, like, obviously, you're going on all the other dates and things, but it feels like these, like, plot significant moments are who you're gonna take to the 4th of July party and who you're gonna take to Jesse's wedding.
Yeah.
So
Who did I take? Actually, who I took to 4th of July surprised me a lot. I took Isaac for some reason.
whoa!
I never and I should say, like, both in my first playthrough and this time, I barely played with Isaac. I think he is the low like, I got him to level 2 and I was like, "I'm not doing this."
Wow.
I love Isaac as a character, but and that's, like, one of the tensions. I love Isaac as a character, like, I feel like Isaac, like, his story I relate to a lot. He's just so sweet and so genuine, but I hate playing with that damn I just can't I'm not that intentional, so I don't like that you it's so timing based, like, in
Yeah.
particular, all of
The
the
rapier is
combos.
hard.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. So, but I took him anyway because at that point, I think like I had like been playing through him just to get through the game, and it just felt right. Like I'm just like,
Yeah.
this is the man you take to like family events. So we're taking him to this.
You take Isaac home to meet mom and dad for sure.
Literally. But then I was also like, this is someone who like, if for some reason he would get mad that I am also gonna hit on Jonah at this barbecue, because you meet
That is
Jonah at the barbecue.
I was like, I'm not gonna ask I'm not this is me telegraphing now the next thing that I do as well, but both of these events, I was like, "Well, Jesse's hosting these, so I'm not gonna ask Jonah because Jonah's just gonna be there, so I can flirt with Jonah either way."
Wow.
Look, maximizing cuties, that's the game.
Please. Okay, but I think I opted not to take anyone. That's an option, right? I think I opted not to
I
take
think so.
anyone to Jesse's wedding. I
Oh,
don't know why I
interesting.
did that. I think I was like I was deep in Valeria's relationship in the moment, but then I was like it was like right at the point where Valeria like bails. And
Oh.
I was just like, I don't feel committed. I'm a very
Not a
emotional
good time
player.
to take the girl who's afraid of commitment to your cousin's wedding.
Period. It was just like it just happened to be those things
Well,
dovetailed, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that."
yeah, that's so interesting because I hadn't thought about the ways that the timing like, I had thought about it in theory, but because
Mhm.
I took Valeria to my cousin's wedding
Oh.
because of the timing where we had just gotten past that, and
Boom.
she was, like, committing to being like, "I want you to be in my life. You've, like, reinvigorated my art," kind of a thing,
Mm.
and I was like, "Well, why don't you?" Because I also was like, "Well, she's definitely cool with me flirting with other people,
Mhm.
so why don't we both go flirt with Jonah at the wedding?"
That makes a lot of
Well, because
sense.
7 was I brought 7 to 4th of July. I kissed 7 at 4th of July.
Mhm.
Though I did flirt with Jonah still.
Weird.
And then I felt like because I had brought Seven to the wedding, and to be honest, I romanced the fuck out of Seven the first time I played through this game, where
Yes.
I brought him to everything. I did everything was all about Seven in playthrough 1. And so I was like, we're talking about this on the podcast. I got to do something different than what I
Yeah.
did the first time. So I still took Seven to the 4th of July because I couldn't bring myself not to. And then because I was like, well, I have to refresh my memory on exactly what
Oh my
happens.
gosh.
But then I did decide to take Valeria to the wedding, and she looked fine.
Damn.
Her
Okay.
dress was awesome. I took a screenshot of it and I will send it to you.
Thank you, because I was like, damn, now I'm gonna have to go play again. Thanks, Claire. I mean, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
go play again anyway, because now I need to like go all the way through everyone's routes just to challenge myself. But
I did go all the way through literally everyone's roots. It was
dang, okay, you're wavering.
well, and peek behind the screen, we had a little bit of extra time between recordings, so I really took my time to spend too much time with each of these characters.
Wait, she is really hot. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
What the hell? Let me see this.
I want to play against just so I can see everybody's formal outfits.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I think I was just taking too much time because I wanted to avoid the same thing. It makes me laugh that we're both like huge Seven fans. Because I was like, because I went all the way with Seven last time too. So I was like, okay, this time I'm just going to very intentionally date everyone so that I do not just go Seven all the way. But then I got to, I just love him.
But then you hang out with him and it's like, "Oh, you're depressed. I'm anxious. So cute. Good match." And like the scenes, the date scenes, this game is well written most of the time. Like there are some times where I'm like, "Oh my god."
Mhm.
But like some of the characters too, I feel like some more than others have that like extra level of care in the date writing. Like with Seven, there's a scene where he comes to your house and you're like watching a movie or something together.
Yeah.
And it was just like so relatable the way that they describe like when you can feel someone sitting next to you and the
Yes.
tension where you like can't tell if you're supposed to be like moving closer or if you're supposed to be staying still or like what level of relaxed and comfortable are you supposed to be, and like it was just so relatable, and maybe again because he's so fine that I was like I feel the nerves, like I feel like
Yeah.
I'm there as I was in that scene.
They catch Twitter patient like so well. I felt Twitter pated.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to like sneak my hand over to Sevens right now. Like you could just feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love Seven. You didn't tell a Stan wrote that. Like someone put a
Yeah.
lot of care and attention into that.
Yeah. Okay, I want before we get toward the end of the game, I do
Mhm.
wanna do rapid fire. I wanna hear your ranking for
Okay.
dating versus wielding.
Okay. I'll do the dating one first because it's just so obvious.
Yeah, yeah, amazing.
I
I'm
mean,
writing them down.
okay, fantastic. I guess Seven number one, Rowan number two, and dating. Ooh, the number three is hard actually. Maybe Leah number three. Even though I didn't finish it.
Whoa.
I just feel like she's so fun to talk to. And then for wielding, I would say again, mine are lining up because I feel like that's also the order that I would go to them. Except it would be like Seven number one, Rowan number two, Jonah number three, I think. Yeah. In terms of who I would go to. Is that true? It's actually not true. It's Sawyer number three for wielding.
Okay, I'm so interested. Did you romance Sawyer? I literally could not bring myself to be attracted to Sawyer at all. I was like, this is a child.
I
Like
know.
I think it's just because of the limited cooking knowledge and the being in college thing. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I'm old now. Like and now I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this is I did have to shut Sawyer. I like kind of let Sawyer have a crush on me for maybe one
Oh,
round too long, and then I was like, no, actually no.
you're so much
Um,
stronger. I did romance Sawyer like a little bit because I was just like, okay, like they
I
can
mean,
like
they're
me. They're
cute.
so cute.
Yeah.
And I just felt bad. I couldn't bring myself to be like, hell no. But I didn't love it. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
But I also really liked using the glaive. So I was just like, this
Yeah.
reflects how much I like to use the glaive. But I didn't I think I got like halfway through the like romancing, and then I was just kind of like, let me. It's time to get into business because I think I spent more time like going around. So I was like, it's time to lock in on 7 so I can beat this boss. Honestly,
Yeah, because I really liked Isaac's character as well.
yeah.
I'm thinking about my own ranking quick. Because I think my top three are Seven, Jonah, Valeria, actually.
In terms of dating or wielding.
Dating.
Yes. Okay. I almost did this top three. I mean, I threw it out the window. Clearly, I think this is true too.
I think it's a testament to this game that there are 9 very different characters that you can choose to love in whatever way that means to you, whether that's
Yeah.
platonic or romantic or just sexual, cuz also like Sunder is like don't fall in love with me
Yeah.
and has some lines about emotional intimacy and so many different weapon types. I think this is a great like dating sim to introduce your gamer friends to dating sims.
Yes.
Taking something people like, which is roguelites,
Mm.
but also being like, okay, if you don't know who to date, if you're really overwhelmed with the idea of a dating sim, if you
Feel
are
weird.
feel
Like,
weird about it, like if you're like, I don't know, then you can choose it based on
yeah.
what naturally is happening when you're playing like the game dungeon crawl part.
Hmm.
And like I liked that those bosses in the dunge,
Hmm.
the bosses are hard and require a sense of timing,
Mm.
but don't feel unbearable because it is ultimately it's a dating sim. I don't want it to be so hard that I'm like challenge running forever to get like or
Yeah.
like trying to get through multiple dungeons over and over and over again. It feels pretty well correlated with like getting your relationships up and getting through the dungeon successfully.
Yes.
And I love the mechanic that as you go between floors, you can choose to switch weapons if you want to.
Yes.
And they tell you where you're at with them. So like you
Yes.
can see, okay, I've maxed out the next level. I have to wait for my next date with Isaac, so I better go play Sunder now so that I
Yes.
can keep that relationship going because I haven't died yet and I want to keep going further in the dunge.
Yes. It helps you level in a way that like it just gives you a lot of choice, which I really appreciated, and it helped me get through the game faster.
And it feels like you're developing your relationship with those people because you are. Like you're
Yeah.
going on those breaks, you're doing these things together. Like they have dialogue pop-ups for people as you're wielding them. So like it feels like you are connected to these people and you're spending more time with them because you are.
I love that 7 would just be like, "Can you handle the pressure?" It's like, "Buzz off, 7." Like, "Yes,
I
I
know.
can." Oh, yeah, to your point about, like, correlating well with, like, how you're advancing in the relationship. I will say I did hit, like, a very obvious bump where I think I was in a phase, like, I was trying to just, like, really build and level up Rowan because I was like, "I don't think." It's so crazy because I guess now it's so crazy that I'm so obsessed with Rowan because the first time that I played this game, I think I had a really hard time with them. Like, just I couldn't figure out like the cipher. I didn't really get their vibe, and I got pissed off, and I was just like, okay, well, I'm just not like
They do kind of show up like an edgelord at first.
they do. They're, like, so contrarian and or not contrarian, but just, like, really committed to their bit and, very rigid about it. But this playthrough, I was like, "No, no, no, like, their weapon is too cool. I am going to do it." And then I, like, completely fell for them. They're just so, like, they're so cute. And they're just so different from all the other characters, like, they just feel a little out of the world, and they literally live at, like, the very top of the map, like, don't really interact with a lot of people. And so I think I was on, like, level 5 with Rowan, and I was on, like, the, 4th floor of the nightclub, and I was getting beat down, like, the monsters were, like it was so many immediately, and there's this one speaker that, like, jumps and can kill you instantly, and I was like, "Why is this happening?" So then I switched, and I was like, "Let me just max out 7 and see what happens." And then it was completely like the the number the number of monsters immediately went down. So I think I was just underleveled and I didn't notice. But as soon as went in with a maxed out weapon, it was like very easy. So I think there's a lot of attention paid to like the experience and the story, like the leveling of your weapons and your characters so that you have to have a certain like emotional connection, whether it's friendship or romance, to kind of get through some of the emotional battles that you're facing in the dungeon, which I think is like a very elegant, we spoke about very elegant allegory later, but I think that is another example of just like, contrary to like I've read some reviews of this game that feel like the
Yeah.
way that um, the way that m the dunge mechanics, like the roguelite mechanics interact with the romance, like the relationships, like, is awkward or a bit, like, is to the detriment of the game, but I argue this is, like, a moment, where it's actually, like, a benefit to the game and, like, it advances, like, this very thoughtful and mature idea about what it means to, um, have any sort of relationship with someone and go through obstacles together, whether they're internal or external. I don't know, unless you didn't experience that, but I was like, "What the hell?"
No, no, I think there's certainly a thumb on the scales as far as,
Yeah,
like, getting through like, pacing and stuff, which I think in terms of the story is
it makes
good.
sense.
Okay, also, we forgot a DLC character that I wanna make sure that we mention. So, at the college, there is a boss battle at the end, which is with, like, an actual character, Doctor Holmes.
And I realized belatedly, because I did some Googling, that I did not meet Dr. Holmes. So when I was like, "Yeah, I finished the game," I'm pretty sure I did. I finished the main story, but I did not meet Dr. Holmes. I did not finish the DLC. So take it away, Claire, to tell me all about this character.
Well, okay, so first of all, you can't actually date her. She is not a dateable character. You also cannot wield her. You never get to wield her either.
Oh.
She is a sort of like a whip with split ends, like I want to say it's like six ends, and it's like sort of a I don't know, like a green electric technology looking whip. And you meet her at the college, and there's like some sort of mystery. You go through the whole dungeon, and her fight is so hard. I talk about this on the episode of Indie Impressions that
Mm.
just recently came out, but she's so hot and so like just you just like want her to like you and she won't. Uh
Love a mean hottie.
yeah, it's just like yeah, Dr. Holmes is a whip, uses she they pronouns, is a baddie with like dark hair with gray streaks in it
Mhm.
and is a major boss fight, but it's completely optional. So that's why you obviously could totally finish the game and it was absolutely fine and you could go you might even be able to finish the entire game without the college dungeon, maybe?
I think so. Maybe? Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
I
happened to
don't know.
me. Yes. Yes, you
Yeah,
can.
did you so you didn't go into the college at
But I
all?
did go in, like, I guess I did it after, I think. Like, I finished the game and then I started, I think, on the, well, no. I don't know. I definitely went into the college, but I didn't finish the college dunge. I feel like it was, like, after, where it was just like, okay, and the story continues, and, like, I started doing things in the college. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what
Yeah.
happened.
Okay, that makes sense, that makes sense, and her, like, journey I think you can, like, level up your relationship with her maybe, but you
Mhm.
don't, like and you can, like, kind of flirt, but I don't remember if she goes all the way up to 6 or not, but you can never wield her is the big thing. She decides that
Mhm.
she's like, "I'm not for wielding, I'm just me," basically, and that she's just gonna, like, live her life, which we
That's
love.
kind of iconic because I hate to do I'm always doing this, but not in a flippant way, but when I saw that there was, like, a whip character, my concern was it being wieldable. Because for me, as a Black American, immediately if I, like there are certain associations that come up if I see, like, someone holding a whip or wielding a whip, and I was like, "I don't know that I want that or to see that." So I feel like that's a very elegant
Yeah.
and culturally sensitive way to be like, this is this character. And again, I haven't played with the character. I haven't met the character
Yeah.
yet. So I'm speaking just from an abstract point of view that that is good to know because that was my immediate concern when I found out about the character.
Yeah, one of her heavy dislikes, I don't even think you try. I think she's immediately like, "No, absolutely not. What?" And is also sort of, and I assume this is intentionally designed to be a little bit of that more like sci-fi looking, like more like Seven
Mhm.
type of design of weapon too,
That
which
helps.
yeah, doesn't negate the association by any means, but does it seems like they thought about it and
Yeah.
were like, if we're gonna make a whip, we should make it like sexy sci-fi whip
Yeah.
very intentionally.
Let's put in some guardrails, let's create some distance, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's Dr. Holmes.
Wow.
Now is gonna be the little part, this is the compliment sandwich part of the episode where we talk about our qualms about this game that we love.
Yeah.
So, A, I do think you're right, there are moments in the dunge that I'm like, "Is this what I am looking for? Like, is it perfectly attuned to what I want?" Not necessarily. It is, an indie game made by a small studio that is a dating sim, so there's a lot of other things that we're focused on. So, like, I think there are a lot of great things about the dunge, but I also think there would be, like, some tuning to happen, but my biggest issue with my biggest qualm is, like, I like that they had voice acting, but I didn't think it was very good,
Oh, interesting.
which, like, I feel really bad saying that because 'cause I'm like, "Damn," like, I love voice actors, I think those performances are so huge in games,
Yeah.
and I found some of the performances to be maybe, like, poorly directed? Like, I'm not sure exactly because I don't think the actors are bad, and I don't think the voices they chose are bad. And maybe that's why I liked Seven so much. Like, I enjoyed the voice actor for him, so I had the volume on more. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really thought something I would like to see in the future if they ever like,
Mm.
Shining Star 10-year re-release of Boyfriend Dungeon because everyone loves it, whatever. I would love to get a fully voice acted version of this game.
Yes.
Like, I would love that. I think these characters are so rich. And I think because the characters are so rich that's actually what made me more disappointed in the voice acting was like maybe I expected
Mm.
too much from it because the
Yeah.
writing is so rich that I think there just could have been a little bit of a push in
I
that
feel
part of the
you. I think
performance for
it's
me.
more noticeable with certain characters too. I think the
Yeah.
characters that I loved because the not fully, but like they're I think the voice acting supported it too. Like I was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
I like this whole package. And I
Yeah.
want to listen to it. I'm not turning my volume down or like whatever.
Yeah, I definitely ebbed and flowed with if I had the volume on or if I didn't, depending. But I would always try to turn it up at like the beginnings of date conversations
Yeah.
and the ends of them when they were typically like when you're on a date. In the dunge, I would sometimes turn it down. But the soundtrack
The
was great.
soundtrack's
The
so
soundtrack on
good.
this game is
I was gonna say
great.
that when you
So
brought up the
like
bundle, I was like, y'all, the bundle's worth it just for the soundtrack, bro. Like,
and the soundtrack is funny.
mm-hmm.
Like it's music that was clearly written for the
Mm-hmm.
game and there's like some cheekiness in it, but also the vibe is good and like yeah, it's very fun.
They built like a
Um,
very good environment to spend so many hours in to clear the game. Like
yeah,
you want to
your
pick it
room is
up.
cool, your craft table's
Mm,
cool, you wanna hang out in the closet where you get to pick between your hats and your
yeah.
outfits and look at them, and, like, even just running around the little map is, like, fun.
Yeah.
Like, you wanna go looking for your lovers on the street
Yeah.
talking to one another, like, yeah, it's nice, and I think like, on the structure of our episode here as we get nearer to the
Hmm.
end, I think the environment being so rich and having such a variety of characters all contribute to the character development that does happen,
Hmm.
which is like obviously we've mentioned each of your dateable characters has their own personal story arc, but also so do
Yeah,
you.
you do.
And like I thought that was great. I thought that like having such a rich environment, having these sort of like benchmark events throughout the summer and being
Hmm.
like this is a period of time that it feels like an important summer. And like
Yeah.
I don't know, I've had those. Have you
I
had
have
those
had
where it's like
those. There's
yeah,
one
and
moment,
it
one
really
summer in particular that like I see all the time. Yeah. It the
yeah,
game does give that feeling of like my life is changing. I have
my life is
changed.
about to change. Yeah. Did our choices really matter? I think so.
I think so. For sure.
I think though I do wonder if there's any way to wrong someone. Like, I think your relationship is either not developing or developing. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
there's a way to be like, and I could be wrong because I just wanted to date everyone. So I didn't try to insult anyone ever. So I wonder if there is any way to lose someone.
I don't think. Yeah,
But
I don't know.
as far as choices matter, but I'm also not mad if there
I
isn't
don't think
because
so.
it's very obvious if you don't want your relationship to progress with someone, you just don't dunge with them and don't talk to them, and then they fall by the wayside.
Yeah. That's a good question. I don't think so, but
Yeah.
I can't say for certain.
Or you can change everyone to your friends. Like
Yeah.
you can reject everyone and just be friends with everyone, which is also, a viable option. Though here at Date With Us, you can almost always bet we're going to be dating as many of them as possible.
Yes.
Also, before we dive into success, what is it? The other thing is there is a lot of sex in this game.
Yeah.
Like it is not graphic. It is always fade to black. And I feel like they usually talk about it in the sense of like what the emotional connection was during the
Yeah.
physical event, which is nice for a relationship development game. But they are having sex. Or it's up to you. You can be having sex if you want to be having sex. And boy oh boy, I think I slept with everyone every opportunity I had except for Sawyer.
Yeah. I didn't sleep with Sawyer and I didn't sleep with Isaac, but everyone else, yes.
I did sleep with Isaac.
Please.
Isaac was like one of my top romance contenders. Honestly, the reason Isaac isn't in my top 3 is that I couldn't bring myself to romance Isaac all the way through because I felt like I was breaking an agreement. Like,
Aw.
this is how strong the characters are, is
You
that
don't
Isaac
want to
says to you that
cheat.
he really only wants to be with you if you can be monogamous with him. And I was like, well, I can't do that, Isaac. I have to date all these other people. And then I waited like until I was basically done with the game to be like, well, I want to know how this ends with Isaac. And so I did. I did also get to level 6 with him. But now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if I had gone and like romanced someone else after Isaac,
Mhm.
if that could be a problem because of that conversation. But
Mm.
I don't think that's in the mechanics of this game. I think literally they did such a job of writing this
Yeah.
character that I was like, well, I made a commitment to this man. I can't make this commitment to this
Yeah.
man because I need to date Jonah and Seven and Valeria
Period.
also. So
Oh,
but his suit with the little rapier
it
brooch,
is
and
really cute.
I'm just like, show me your expensive cufflinks. Like,
I would have
I
slept
love
with him
them.
had I used him enough. I just did not want. I was like, I can't, but I love you. I love you from afar.
Yeah.
Sawyer,
Yeah.
no. Sawyer would have been things. This
Yeah,
is
it
yeah.
just too young, too young. Uh Success, what is it? Did we have fun? So, I think bringing us back to the plot of the game, at a certain point, we realize this is going to be spoilers for the end of the game. So, if you're still with us, I will put a time stamp in the show notes that you can skip ahead if you don't want the end of the game plot-wise spoiled for you. Spoilers. Okay, so end game.
Any game.
Would you like to set the scene or would you like me to
You
set the
can
scene?
set the scene.
All right, end game. Your cousin texting you, talking to you. Eric has shown up throughout the game
Yes.
saying dumb shit about basically being a like slut shamey, weird, purity focused man who seems more and more upset to find out that you've gone on more dates with
Right.
people. As that's happening, it becomes clear that he has built some sort of being called Katana that is made of a katana blade, seemingly, and different, like, is like a zombie looking thing. You and your cousin decide that you're gonna meet late at night outside of, what is it, Heavy Steel or whatever his
Naked Steel.
Naked Steel,
Disgusting.
Eric's store. And you're gonna go in there and spy and figure out what's going on and maybe fight him.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes clear that if you're gonna go do this, you should probably call one of your weapon
You
cuties
should.
to come with you. The big boss battle is obviously framed very well, very clear that this matters narratively. When you go to this place, something will happen. There is also a pop-up, which I love when a game does this. I love when a game is like, this is the point of no return.
Yes.
If you enter this, they say it's like something of like you will not be able, this is the end of the game. Like you will not be able to go back and develop your relationships further. You need to take a level 6 character into this fight, and who you pick is who you're going to take into this fight, and that's going to be the end of the game. And yeah, I just love when they tell me that.
Yeah, so you can know. You can be
Like, because I'm
prepared.
like, yes, great. I didn't stumble into it. And then I'm like, oh no, wait, I got, oh no, wait, Isaac's at level 6, but I want to bring 7 to this or whatever. So we break in, and then you find out there's a boss fight. There's a multi-phase boss fight. And who did you bring?
Yeah,
7?
I did bring 7.
Me too.
Well, I lost so many times, so I brought everybody. Well, not everybody. I tried, Jonah and Rowan as well. But yeah, cleared us with 7.
Nice. Yeah, I cleared this with 7 as well. But yeah, do you want to talk about like the actual boss fight? Fights? Now that I've set the scene, we break in, it's late at night, you bring your bestie or your preferred
You can
wield.
bring us home because I'm still traumatized. This little friend.
Well, feel free to jump in. So you end up fighting Katana, and then you also kind of fight Eric, but it long story short, you do a series of boss fights. There's some timing based stuff. It's tough.
Very hard.
I did have the goddess shield on to beat that because I was like, I can't do this without that. And Eric, I could never. Isaac? No, Isaac, great. Eric, bad. As you destroy Katana, it becomes clear that Katana is a fusion of all of the chipped pieces of your weapon cuties. It's horrifying.
It's disgusting.
And devastating.
I think Eric, like, before you go into the fight, he's like, yeah, I dated all of them and they all rejected me, and I felt like that rejection took something from me, so I took something from them. And you're like, what the fuck? I mean, you probably already assumed based on seeing the beating, but like then you go into it.
The hints are pretty heavy.
Yeah. But it's fucking
like
good.
It's not, I would not call this a great mystery game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's horrifying. And I don't think he regrets it enough by the end either. And the game really gives you you win, obviously, and then you have a beautiful moment with your chosen partner where you start to talk about the end of the summer and what will happen next. With 7, spoilers for the ending with 7. With 7, you get the option to like ask him. First, you get to tell him what you think about if he should join up with Lucky and be a duet called Lucky 7, or if he should take this opportunity to go solo. What did you do?
I told him to go solo.
Me too.
Okay, nice.
It just seemed like so clear that that was what he wanted. And like, you said at the beginning of this episode, you were like, well, Lucky 7 would be cute. And I was like, did she tell him to go with Lucky?
I would never.
I was like, what?
I know, that would be a betrayal to 7. I could never do him like that.
I know.
I could never do him like that.
I was like, damn. Though I do wonder what happens. But yeah, so you get to have this moment. And then I did invite 7, or I asked 7 to come with me back home.
Beautiful.
And he was like, I love that you invited me, but I have to go on tour. And then you still have a very sweet and wonderful moment together. And then he tells you how much it means to him that you wanted him to be there, and that your relationship will continue to be wonderful. Is that also what is that? Did you invite him to go with you?
I don't remember.
And then, yeah, so success, what is it? Success is beating that boss and deciding how you want to interact with Eric, which I also think is really interesting because they give you the opportunity to kind of make an excuse for him and like and forgive him, or trying to be almost like in community with him where you're kind of trying to make him understand what is wrong, or you can basically be like, yeah, man, maybe you'll find somebody else. Like, and I was pretty much like, fuck you.
Same. I'm out. I was so mean to him, like towards like, because he's so disgusting and annoying and mean.
And you're constantly getting texts from him throughout the game.
You don't reply to most of the time. And it's just like, it's just someone who doesn't know how to take no for an answer. So at that point, I'm just like, fuck you. You need to learn.
Well, the first time I played this game, I've probably started 5 different new games in Boyfriend Dungeon at different points in time since it came out. And one of them, I was just curious, what if I never respond to Eric? And
Mm.
it does get to a point where you kind of like in the game, you're like, something is supposed to be happening. So you do ultimately end up needing to like click something.
Yeah.
But like, because he seeks you out in so many different
Mhm.
places, his text to you, storyline wise, can continue forward, even if you are ignoring it when they give you options to respond.
Whoa. That's kind
I
of
th- I
wild.
think it's like at a certain point
It
you
just
do
forces
have
it?
to
Oh,
click
okay.
something like later in the game. But I think it does, like, if it's like if you haven't responded to him but you see him like with
Mm.
Sunder, he does text you again.
Ugh.
So it's like it's
So
that thing
persistent.
of like, yeah. Did we have fun?
No. As you can tell, we fucking hated it.
The way that I knew I had a goddamn delightful romp in Verona Beach is the very, very, very end after the interaction with Seven. They do like a little montage. And I'm curious what your montage was like, Kanisha, because I had a montage of every single character
Oh.
and they like came and said nice things to me. And I wasn't sure if it was because I level 6'd them all or
Oh.
not. But if you are somebody who this game sounded fun, romance everybody, because the little video at the end where it's every single character put together,
That's so
like
cute.
having a really fun moment on the beach was like the boon that my heart needed right now. Like it really it made me so happy.
I'm gonna be honest, it was like the wee hours of the morning. So, I mean, I remember the sun, and I remember
It was
Glee.
pretty.
I remember it being beautiful, but I had pops like my sleeping medication. I was like, it's lights out. So that's why I'm like,
So you may or may not get a full video of everybody, but if you don't, then you just got to play again and date
you
everyone.
do. I will be playing again to date everyone while fully awake.
All right. On that note, here are simple ending ratings. We rate on 3 things. We rate on spice and steaminess, we rate on romance, and we do our individual Claire and Kanisha out of 10, inspired by No Small Games, rating on a scale of ourselves
Mhm.
out of 10. Spice?
Spice, spice, spice.
8
8
spice?
spice.
7 spice?
Girl, I was gonna give it like 4 spice.
What? No, you get to fuck in this
You
game. I do feel
That's
like
at least a
because you get to
5.
fuck, it has
Okay.
to be at least a 5.
I'll
Okay?
give it a
Yeah.
5. But it's not like we have gotten some like
We
description.
did play Whipped and Steamy, and Meeting in the Flesh also was very descriptive. Yeah, I guess
Even
I
validate.
was thinking, oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Hmm. Yeah, maybe it's a 5.
I mean, go with your heart, but
Well, here's the thing, I keep thinking about Sunder, and I'm
yeah,
like,
Sunder is
Sunder
spicier, yeah.
Sunder makes it a 6 for me, I
I
think.
think that's
I think
very
it's a
fair.
6.
I could go 6. Let's converge on
Okay.
6 because that makes sense.
Steaminess, 6 out of 10. Romance?
Oh.
There's a lot of different types of romance in this game.
And I think that makes me weepier than if it were just all
Yeah.
romance. So I would say like tears are springing to my eyes. I love friendship.
And that's awesome. It's yeah, like the love in this game and like the relationship development in this game is
So
great.
full. And you even have familial love if you want it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would give it like, on that note, I'm giving it like a 9.
I agree. 9 out of 10 romance. The only thing that could make it more romantic is if it were set in the Regency.
Literally.
Individual rating. I think Boyfriend Dungeon is, for me, it's now you might think this is a 10 out of 10 Claire game. And I'm sorry to say that it is not a 10 out of 10 Claire game, but that's only because I think the roguelite elements, I want I want something a little different. Like I want it to be a little bit more, maybe I just want another dunge. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's like something wanting, but I think for me it might be an 8, maybe an 8.5.
Yeah. Whoa, we're like right aligned because I was thinking 8.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me why you were thinking 8.
I think this isn't fair because this is what the game is, and like I think that's fine, but I do think there is something just a little bit lost. It's hard. They executed this so well that it's hard to be like, it's missing, both sides are missing something.
Yeah.
But it does feel like something is like a little shorted from both the love, like moving through
Yeah.
the romances and from the dungeons. Like I wish there was something that just made the stakes feel a little bit higher. But it's
Mhm.
still it's just so well written, so well developed, so beautiful that you can't give it anything less. I wouldn't be able to give it anything less than an 8. I love this game, and I tell everyone about it,
Yeah.
but
I also tell everyone about
yeah.
this game because this game is like it is exactly what it says it is. And there
Yes.
is something honestly awesome about that because it's hard to time is so limited, especially as grown-ups,
Mhm.
that like I want to know I'm going to like a game before I play it, which like is, there are some things I can go into knowing not very much, but like with a lot of video games, especially if I'm like, okay, I'm going to at least sink at least a handful of hours of my life into
Yeah.
this. Like I want to know I'm going to like it. And Boyfriend Dungeon is exactly what it says it is. You get to date a bunch of really hot hotties. You
Mhm.
have a variety of types of relationships and you get to go kill and break monsters and that is all true.
Mhm.
However, having played games where you do both of those things separately from one another,
Mhm.
we know what 10 out of 10 feels like in those things.
Yeah.
And so it's like the feeling of missing something is there, but like not in a way where I'm complaining about it outside of anything other than this podcast where we're really getting into it,
Right. I
Cuz like I will stand on a soapbox and talk about how Boyfriend Dungeon is an incredible game.
yeah. I feel like everyone needs to play Boyfriend Dungeon. If you're going to be my friend, you have to play. Like, that's how I feel about this game.
Yeah, I'm about to take that soundbite and make it your Twitch chat entrance on the channel.
Please. That would be hilarious. But honestly, true. Yeah, I want to bring that energy every time I pop up.
Great, amazing. We'll make it happen. Any what do we how do
I
we
forgot how we end these.
go play Boyfriend Dungeon if you want to be our friend
Literally. And then
and tell us what you think about it. And also tell me what your character
tell.
This is how I want to sign out. I want to know what you were wearing. What was your character wearing? What hat headgear did you have and what zines did you
Oh
use?
my God. Okay, I'll answer this.
We didn't even talk about our builds. What was your build?
Okay. Oh my God, I don't even know how to describe it. I had on like the the like
The Phoenix one that makes you
no,
come back to
it
life?
wasn't
The cultist
no,
one.
no. It was like this Valkyrie, like it's the one that deals like everyone double damage, but it's like gold.
Oh, I'm literally opening my game to identify what this is
Thank you.
called. Yeah, for sure. Continue,
And then I
continue.
used the zine. I don't know what the zine is called, but it's the one that gives you an allied turret that follows you
Oh,
around. It's so clutch. And
yeah,
then obviously I played with like 7 in row in the most.
nice.
And what was I wearing? I wore one of the outfits I don't think that had anything because I just felt like it.
I don't think any of the outfits actually have
Okay.
anything. I think the outfits, I just wanted to know if you had one that you
I switched
liked.
around. I liked. Is there like a little?
Oh, can I
Go ahead.
guess? Did you like the anime
I
t-shirt?
did like the anime T-shirt, but that wasn't what I was gonna say. It was one of the all black ones. There's like this little like night.
Oh,
I like the tuxedo, but there's also like this little night crawler kind of fit. I
yeah.
liked that one,
Yeah.
and the
I did
green bomber
I
jacket.
did the Dark Prince a lot,
Ooh,
which was like
that's
the
it.
little
Yeah, I like the dark prince.
it's so
It's
cute.
really really cute. Oh wait, your build is so cute. Oh,
Oh, thank you. I just held her up to the screen so that Kanisha could
I
see
need to
her.
go grab my switch. Mine has pink hair, long pink hair. I just
Cute.
felt committed. Yours is so cute.
What did you name yourself?
Carrie with a K. Yeah.
Cute. I did Val and then promptly forgot that there was a dateable character named
Yes.
Valeria.
Val and
I did
Valeria
not
is so
remember
cute
that.
though. I'm just so like self-centered that like every time I like get to build a character in any game, I'm like I don't want to literally play myself, so I don't name them me, but I give them a K name so they feel aligned.
Yeah. I hate to point it out to you, but the cult hat is the double damage hat.
Oh, wait, but show me the cult hat. Okay, no, then I'm wrong, but it's not that one. Do you have, like, the golden one that's, like, sharp? It looks like Wanda. It's, like, golden, and it's, like, on her face.
The Phoenix Cap?
No! No!
I'm cutting all of this.
It's like
There's a halo, there's a party
I
hat.
have to go get my phone. Okay, give me a second. Something I want to say, and this is, like, very crazy of me because I know that he, like, tries to listen. He likes podcasts, so I know he tries to listen to these when we post them. But something I told the man who I do not have a crush on, that I told him I was playing this game with you, and he was like, "Oh," and I described, like, what it is, because he was like, "What?" I was like, "Blah, blah, blah, this game."
Huh?
And he and I he was like, "What's it called?" And I was like, "Well, it's called Boyfriend Dungeon." Which if you I don't know how many times you had to explain this to someone who, like, yeah, would not.
Mhm.
I explained it to him, and he immediately went, "This sounds like one of those smut books that people like." And this is so dishonest to me. I went, "Yeah, but it's not like that." I was like, it definitely was made by and for smut enjoyers, but it's not
Yeah,
like
it
that.
absolutely was.
And there were just so many lies in that response. If you ever hear this, let's not talk about this.
And Kanisha definitely doesn't have a crush on
Not
you.
at all. Okay, let me get some.
Oh, you're really out here. You're really out here, and I love that about you.
You know.
But yeah, so my build,
Yes.
while you look up yours, my build was my character's name was Val. She had long blue hair and wore the Dark Prince outfit most of the time. And then the hats, I would often switch between I liked the one that gave you more zine or more heals and less zines because as we know, I was not a strong player. And then I flirted with the cat ears that are a higher chance of critical hit and the glasses that let you see further because I just wanted her to wear glasses. And then there is a headphones one that changes the soundtrack, and I thought that was cool.
Oh, that is cool.
So, and then zines wise, I switched a lot between. At first, when you only have a couple of them, I swapped to the Bug Princess zine, where you get bug allies.
Wait, I've
and
never
then by
gotten
that,
Bug Princess. What the hell?
yeah, well, you'll have to find the Bug Princess recipe to craft the Bug Princess zine, and then the Pinball zine is the one I used at the end.
Oh. Hold on, I found my hat. It's called a Valkyrie band. It looks like this. Hold on, can you see that? No, you can't.
I don't think I got that this time.
It's my favorite. It also deals double damage. One zoom.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah, that's my hat.
See, tons of recipes to find, always reasons to go back to the dunj, clearly.
Always different, it seems.
Yeah, even I'm out here dating every single person to max level, and I still somehow have not unlocked everything in this game. And there's like tons of different gifts that you can unlock throughout too.
What is your favorite gift to give?
I think I gave 7 black nail polish that he liked. That made me
Yes!
really happy.
I gave the way I can immediately be like, here's everything I gave 7 is so sick. It's disgusting. I'm so ashamed. It's like I gave him the black nail polish. I gave him the gold chain. I gave him the cologne. I was like,
Oh, did he like the
loved
cologne? I
it.
wasn't sure if he would. Oh, okay. I gave Isaac the cufflinks, which
That's so
obviously he loved.
I gave
when they turn down the gift,
it's humiliating.
Horrible. It's so embarrassing.
I was just gonna say, I think I gave Rowan like some kind of alcohol. Like it was like a champagne or wine or something. Disgusting. No. And I was like, I'm like, Rowan, please forgive me.
Body is a temple.
Literally. Yeah, I don't drink, like that's not blah blah blah. And I was like, oh duh. I like that you can give them gifts that like make a lot of sense. Jonah, I don't know how, but I found
there's a surfboard.
Oh, there's a surfboard. I bought him a whistle at like the ferry shop right next to the beach, or a keychain, and he loved it. But then he like when he talks about that concert, right? He's like, "There's this band. I found the tickets for like the concert." Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna give these to Jonah. But then I never got like the prompt to give him anything again, so I just have the
no.
tickets. I was so mad. I was like, I just want to take Jonah to a sexy concert.
Dang. Yeah, that's great. I would have loved to see that dialogue. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I should listen more when Jonah talks.
You said we got beefy fine stuff surfer man. Whatever you say,
Yeah,
King.
I'm just out here like he needs help planning his life, and I'm great at that. I can fix
I
him.
can fix him.
What are we leaving behind in Boyfriend Dungeon?
I think I would like to leave behind, like a film camera, like a 35 millimeter film camera. If I were a dateable character, that would be the gift that I would want to receive to advance our relationship.
That's so cute.
Ah.
Ugh. As you were saying film camera, I was like, if I'm gonna have a camera, it's gonna be like the Kodiak, like one-time use disposable camera.
Please, but I love those. Those are
Because
so
I
good.
love those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm leaving behind my actual literal black baseball cap with white lettering on it
Yes.
that says still emo because I feel like there are so many things like anything from Void merch. If Void merch wants to have a sponsorship in Boyfriend Dungeon, it's with the Claire dateable character.
Yes.
Anything from Void merch you can give me in Boyfriend Dungeon. That's what I'm leaving behind, and it's A plus.
I'm frustrated because I feel like I circumvented the question by being like, but this is what I would want my dateable character to receive. So let me try to think of what I would actually leave behind. I would leave behind a tote bag of, if there's a Verona Beach bookstore that's local to them, that's kind of like a Quimby's, with like
Nice.
lots of queer theory and zines and like cool political right, like a Quimby's tote. That's what I or a similar bookstore. That's what I would leave.
I'm
Yeah.
leaving zines then.
I know. I was like, I want to hear because you're like
Yeah, why am I
zine
not
queen,
leaving zines? What am I
right?
talking about?
I at least want to hear like if to represent you, if you could add a zine that like a player character could use to boost themselves in a dungeon. Like, what would the theme of your zine be, and what would the power up it gave be?
Oh my god, that's such a huge question.
Sorry.
Well, because my initial, like, the first thing I was thinking about is I was like, I'm absolutely the person who, after all the stuff with Eric happened, I'm like making a zine about like weapon people rights and like
Honestly, period.
and consent and like wielding versus like whatever.
Well, I mean, if you made that scene, it could be like a defense power up,
Yeah.
Like you like every time you hit a opponent, you like push other monsters away or something like. Sorry, I'm not gonna put ideas in your mouth. Tell me what you think you would be.
You can say ideas anytime you want. I think in an entirely less political vein, I have a zine that I have made where I took a bunch of photos around my mom's house and guessed what all the plants are called. I don't know anything about plants.
Oh.
And then Danny, my partner, who was actually cut out of this episode. So we have a little bonus content where Danny helps us try to figure out what weapons we are. But Danny is a plant person, so he actually wrote the names of all the plants. And then I would like do the plant, it would be the plant zine, and then it would be like entangle or something where it would like power up like when you hit somebody, the plants like wrap around them or something.
Ah, that's so good. That is so sick. I love that. It would be like really pretty too to like see in the.
I was like trying to think of something that would look cool.
Okay, you succeeded. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like I don't have to. I won't answer that question because I got to say what gift I would want. So I feel okay.
I mean,
with
I
that.
also did that. So if you have a zine in mind, feel free. And then we have to end the episode.
I also here's what I think. Because I was talking about Quimby's. In like the last time I went to Quimby's in Chicago, there was a zine about BoJack Horseman, which I thought was sick. So I would make a zine about all of the romantic scenes in sitcoms that happen in the laundromat. Because there's one, or that are about laundry, because it happens in New Girl, it happens in Friends, it happens in Seinfeld. There's like a laundry episode. Like it might happen in How I Met Your Mother, but I don't remember. But like there's so many sitcoms where like they're like character development and relationship development is around doing laundry. So I would make a zine about that. Domesticity. Yeah.
And what's the power up?
Maybe
They get wet.
oh, my brain went so many different places when you said that.
The wet condition?
I do think there would be like a sudsy condition where like maybe like all the monsters in the dunj, if you get hit and you like hit, you are at or below 50 HP, then all of the monsters in the dunj, like you see a little bubble wash over them. It's like a poison condition. They're sudsy so that they start losing HP and you can like whack them out.
Whoa.
Yeah,
They're
it's like
slipping
burning
everywhere.
their eyes, they're falling. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, well, that's Boyfriend Dungeon. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and subscribe, I guess.
Please.
Hit the follow button wherever, and let's do this again sometime.
Let's do this again sometime.
Date With Us is produced and co-hosted by Claire and Phoenicia.
Claire does the editing, and the intro music Glimmer was composed for the show by Jason Duran.
Find us on Instagram and Blue Sky as Date With Us Podcast.
And don't forget to share, rate, or review the show.
Tell your crush about us.
We dare you!